Hello, I am Deanne Hislop and I welcome you to video 4 of our 10-part educational series on EMF. I can't believe that we're actually at video 4 already. We've so far gone through what is the best router for you, how to hardwire through your home, and how to hardwire devices, in particular devices that don't have an Ethernet port. Now, so we're going to assume that that's already been done, that those 3 steps have already been taken. And now we're going to look at what we need to do to each device to make sure it's not emitting. So firstly, we need to make sure that we've had a look at our router. So we've checked where the little lights are on there. If you can see the 2.4 gigahertz there and the 5 gigahertz there. We want to make sure that they aren't on. We don't want to see a light there because we want to make sure that that's been disabled. That's number one. Then we want to go to each of our devices and we want to make sure that they're on airplane mode. Now, some of your older PCs and older laptops won't have an airplane mode to them. That's fine. We want to make sure that the Wi-Fi has turned off and that it is not searching for a Wi-Fi. So we want to make sure it's not trying to connect to anything, and we want to make sure that it has established the hardwired connection. Now, the easiest way to know whether that's happened or not is just to click on your internet connection settings and have a look to see whether it says Ethernet or Wi-Fi or wireless. The other thing is that if you've turned off the wireless component to your router, do you have internet? If you have internet, then you've obviously hardwired effectively. Now, some computers, well, all computers will have slightly different settings. They'll be in different places, and Apple will be different to, a HP. But what I want you to consider is, does it have flight mode? If it does, I want you to activate flight mode. Does it have one that says wireless or Wi-Fi on there? And does it say other? So I'm going to bring up for you what that actually looks like. Now on this computer, you can see here, in the corner there, that it's got the little flight mode symbol up. So I already know on this one that it's in flight mode. I'm then going to have a look at, and this isn't currently connected to the internet. But down the bottom here is, I don't know if you can see where my mouse is, but I'm just going to bring up there, and there's 3 little settings there. So we've got Wi-Fi, flight mode and mobile hotspot. Now you can see that the only one that is enabled there is the flight mode. We don't want to see the Wi-Fi enabled, and if it is, then we need to turn that off. Now for a device such as a tablet, and I'm thinking that this tablet hasn't got any battery, or it might do, we need to make sure that, and this is for all devices, if it has a Bluetooth function, we need to make sure that that's not highlighted, that the Bluetooth is off. We need to make sure that mobile hotspot is also off. We need to make sure that Wi-Fi is off, and we need to make sure that flight mode is enabled. Now on many devices, when you put the device into flight mode, it'll automatically turn those off. If it doesn't, it's probably because you've activated them manually. Now, with some devices as well, like this one here, it's also trying to connect, I don't know how well we can see that, it's also trying to connect to, so you'll see here, the first little symbol, this one under here, shows that it's got Wi-Fi on, so that needs to be disabled. If we look in the rest of the settings there, you can see that the flight mode isn't actually on that tablet. So flight mode needs to be enabled. And when we go back into those, you'll see that that Bluetooth is off, that mobile data is off as well. So those are things that we need to consider as well. So we basically just need to go through and make sure that everything that we can disable, we have disabled, because what we don't want to do is connect something and connect it or hardwire it to the internet, but have it still emitting. So, and often it's that Wi-Fi connection or the Bluetooth that we overlook. So it's just a matter of checking those settings on there before you use as well. Now, if you have a little meter, and I do encourage people, if you are concerned about electromagnetic field exposure, to buy a meter. There are some absolutely fantastic meters on the market that are produced by Safe Living Technology. They're third-party tested, they're very accurate. They do a Safe and Sound Pro. They also do a small little classic RF meter. Those meters are designed to work with, in line with building biology standards. So they're a health-based standard. So you don't need to interpret the numbers and go, okay, is this too high or is this too small? How does this work? How do I calculate this into something that I can understand? It's going to have a set of lights on there. The Safe and Sound Pro 2 will also have the levels of exposure and the max peak level of exposure. The little classic just has the lights, but it's going to let you know, and they both have a sound as well, so they're going to let you know if there's something there. So having a little meter sometimes is really helpful because you can, switch all those things off, and then you can check with your meter to make sure that there's nothing emitting from them. Now, I've found that I've got a big HP touchscreen PC, and I've noticed that probably about every couple of weeks, and I don't know if it's because the power's gone down or it's reset itself or what it's done, but every now and then it'll throw the Wi-Fi back on to try and search for that. And what the device actually gives out when it's searching can be huge. And in particular, if it can't find a signal, it's going to kind of scream even louder. So it's going to give out even more because it's really trying to search for that signal that's not there. So the same settings that we spoke about also need to apply to your mobile phone as well. We do have a video that's dedicated to hardwiring mobile phones, but I would like you to, when you can, put the phone on flight mode, make sure that the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi and the data is also disabled on there. In particular, when you're in the car or when it's in close proximity to the body. A mobile phone won't emit to the same distance as like a router will, but it's not something that we want to be being exposed to. So for now, I hope that you have your router set up, that you're happy with, you've managed to run some cords throughout the build, that you have found the right adapters if you needed them to connect the different devices that you have or the different technologies that you have in your build. And then you've gone through and turned off the capabilities that need to come off, because now you're at a stage where you're using your technology safely and in a way where you've still got all the applications of the internet. You're still able to do everything that you need to do on those devices, stream, watch things, which is really cool. It just means that, you're not putting your health at risk at the same time. So for now, I hope you feel empowered after those first 4 videos because you're halfway through to setting up your low EMF home. So for now, feel empowered and take action to better your health, and I will see you next time. Thank you.